Once alien here, my fathers built their house, claimed, drained, and give the land the shapes of use, and for their urgent labour grudged no more than shuffled pennies from the hoarded store, of well-rubbed words that had left their overtones in the ripe England of the mounded downs. The sullen Irish limping to the hills bore with them the enchantments and the spells that in the clan's free days hung gay and rich on every twig of every thorny hedge, and give the rain-pocked stone a meaning past the blurred engraving of the fibrous frost. So I, because of all the buried men in Ulster clay, because of rock and glen, and mist and cloud and quality of air, as native in my thought as any here, who now would seek a native mode to tell our stubborn wisdom individual, yet lacking skill in either scale of song, the graver English, lyric Irish tongue, must let this rich earth so enhance the blood with steady pulse where now is plunging mood, till thought and image may, identified, find easy voice to utter each aright.
Writing in Ireland in the English language was in many ways initiated by Irish Protestants. The major Irish poet of the 20th century, W.B. Yeats, was, after all, an Irish Protestant. And his influence and the influence of other Protestant writers from the south and the north has continued to work through the literary systems. I think we have to think about what Protestantism means as culture. Insofar as religion is part of culture, I think one of the interesting things is the extent to which Irish writers have been conditioned by Catholic metaphysics and Protestant metaphysics, even when they are very secular writers. I think that's part of the fascination that, and maybe one reason for the strengths of Irish literature in this century, that there is an interaction between metaphysical systems going on in the literature, which escapes the theological dogmas, in which they originated, and perhaps in that way, one could trace some interesting differences. Evidently, politics as well as theology will play a part insofar as writers are conditioned by their upbringing, their childhood, and the politics of their environment. Irish Protestants, north and south, have obviously been affected in specific ways by the regimes in the two parts of the country. The experience of socialisation, particularly for Northern Catholics and Protestants until recently, and of course it's still continuing, they're breaking down a bit, there's been a gap. And I think one of the factors in the strength of Northern Irish writing, particularly since the 1960s, is that writers at university or in their early 20s from both communities have actually found each other, and there have been all kinds of imaginative interaction between the different kinds of experiences they bring to the act of writing.
I think there probably is a dimension of Ulster cultural tradition, but I'm not sure that within it there's a Catholic and a Protestant element. There's got to be certain differences between the work that Graham Reid does and the work that I do, and in fact there is. But I would say that the thing that I identified with most when I saw the work of Graham Reid or Mary Jones or Christina Reid, that's three Protestant modern Northern Irish writers, was how similar their life and the people they portray was to the people that I portray and that I read about. So, I mean, the vast majority of what we've done, of what I think all the Northern Irish writers from Stuart Parker I would even go as far as to say brand free right through, but certainly all the Belfast writers who grew up in working class Belfast are writing the same things with just different styles and different emphasis on different themes and so on. So I would say that it's a very, very complicated question. Yes, there are differences and dimensions all the way down the line, but I think the broad sweep is that the working class experience, and this is something I've believed for a very long time, the working class experience in Belfast goes right across the boards and knows no religious boundaries.
We get slightly annoyed when people talk about West Belfast being Catholic West Belfast. I mean, Shankill is part of West Belfast, and all the problems of deprivation, unemployment, poverty, we have the same. I mean, Shankill now, the worst part of the problem we have now in Shankill is unemployment. In some parts of the Shankill we have unemployment rising to 60–65%, particularly in the Shankill estate, lower Shankill. And you see through here with the redevelopment here, I mean, there's no jobs to encourage people to come back. And we've been trying to get different companies to come back in to replace those small businesses that have been wiped out through redevelopment. But it's always a struggle, you know, to maintain that. And we have a big young population at the present time who have very little future, hope for the future for the jobs. A lot of people do tend to look towards an Ulster identity rather than a British identity. I mean, that's becoming clear because a lot of loyalists have seen the British as betraying them. They've seen that, particularly after the Anglo-Irish Agreement, they looked upon it as a great betrayal to the loyalist people. So loyalist people have actually saw it out, and it's manifested itself in the like of the Ulster independence movement, where Protestants see themselves, well, we've no future with the British, and we have to carve out our own identity and carve out our own country. So it has manifested itself on the grassroots level, and a lot of people have, I mean, the objections to the Anglo-Irish Agreement, the whole strain of relationship between the British government ministers and unionist MPs. I mean, all those things have been manifested actually in society where the loyalist community has, you know, seen a betrayal by Britain and are looking towards some type of identity.
I regard it as a very interesting notion, and the first thing it signifies that some Protestants aren't automatically looking to London and to Yorkshire and Glasgow for their cultural being. They're examining Ireland. I don't think that the Protestant people in Northern Ireland are classically Irish. In fact, we know they're not. But the notion that some of them are looking at elements of Irish history or the whole notion of Celtic mythology, I find very, very interesting, and I think nothing only good could come of it.
I'm as much an Irishman as a Cork man or a Dublin man because we were born in this island. We're all born in this island, and my contribution to the whole of our culture is just as valid. The people of the Shankill Road have a great input in the Irish culture, the same as the people in East Belfast or North Antrim or East Antrim. I mean, we all make history. People make history, not the country. So we have been here for a long, long time, and our contribution to history, as I say, is very valid and is of right.
Well, Eamon, you would play the Baggerman a different way from what I would play it. Yeah. But now it wouldn't even. I don't think it would even sound the same. Like maybe the way we played the Baggerman, we would go.
Get that a bit, but it's I'd know the Baggerman as a song rather than
that's right, you would.
Than a drumming.
The hornpipe. They would play. There's other old tunes that they have, and Davy Brown's Farewell and all them, you know. But now there's different ways. It's just a different rhythm from a different county, you know.
Well, there's different styles of playing this thing too. Like, you know, in Ireland even. Right. And the counties got too, but Clare has a different style than Cork, and the Clare ones play with one end of the stick, you know, with a thong on it.
Right.
They play like this here, you know, this road here. And the Kerry ones play like with one side of the stick too. So then you see people playing the stick this road here and upside down.
Right. Well,
it just depends. But
how did you get into this boring playing?
well, at one time you couldn't have got one of these things up here, like a good sounding one. So about 20 years ago, I thought I'd make one myself. 25 years ago, and I've been making them since. Just once I made one would say a good basic sound, I'd always say make one another one.
Right.
So on and so forth.
But the tan of the skin, that there would be more. What they used for, you say you use lime and that. Well, that's the way they used to do the paper. That was actually what they called parchment.
Parchment,
Aye, that is parchment, like.
For writing on it, gives a nice weight surface.
That's right.
See, I do a bit of writing on them. And
right.
Do a few designs on them as well. I'd put one's names on them, I'd pick a design, maybe out of a book of Kells or something, and put it on it, I've done King Billy on a few, like,
Right.
There's a few in the
Surely.
all over the place, like.
But the thing is, Eamon, it's nice that that people. That is really what they call an Irish drum, like. That is the Irish drum.
Well, it's a baron, it's
What do you call it?
It's a baron.
A baron?
It's an Irish word. It means deaf head, or deafener.
Right.
I think it should have been on this.
This is a fella here, shouldn't he?
But they reckon these things is like anything up to about 3,000 years old. They've got skins in the National Museum in Dublin that they reckon are thousands of years old. They use drum skins, like small drums. Not these ones here, but ones the same.
You wouldn't get a pair for that there, 1,000 years old, so you wouldn't, because it wouldn't stick it.
It wouldn't last a week.
No, it wouldn't last a week, that's right. Someone doesn't last very long. They just blow out. Well, my father made them before me. He didn't actually make them, but he worked at the skins and all, and making skins and bits and pieces for the drums. But the Hutes was the people that made the shell itself. And then as the family grew older, then we started to make one, like. So I've made about 2 or 3 of them at a minute, like.
So did you learn the trade from your father?
I learned the trade, you must say, yes, from my father, like. Didn't they?
And can you tell me a bit about the process of making the drums from, say, from start to finish? How long would it take completely?
Well, how long it would take for to make a drum? The drum is made out of oak, and there's oak, there's ash, and there's white softwood in her. And if it take you really, you could make a drum in a week, but why she would be a good one in a week or not, I don't know. You'd be first ever making bits of her and letting her mature a bit of herself, and then you would have to battle it and, do things with it, like, for to make it to be a real good drum, like. And even at that wouldn't guarantee you she would be a good one.
The lambic drum is very special in Protestant culture as an instrument and as a symbol of Protestant culture. Why do you think that is? What's special about it?
Well, I don't really, to tell you the truth, the Hibernians had these things too, you see. But then the Protestants really carried it out. Although, before the Troubles and all, there was a lot of Roman Catholic people all went to drumming matches and things like that, and still do, like, and they just that's how the Protestants just kept them, like, the first one ever was here, it come from Holland, but now they've been made in Dromore and all over the place, like, individual ones has made them.
I know again,
but I don't.
His dad was a great drum player, like, of the nationalist tradition.
Right.
Hibernian, he was supposed to be one of the best of us here. Bailey, you call him.
Right. You see, they had a great club in Lurgan and all, and then they had drums in Lurgan, and there was one in our country too. They made a rhyme about her. For Peg has changed her working days from August till July.
Very good.
And she was a Hibernian drum, and their painting all of it on her was Peggy O'Neill. Peg O'Neill. And then they have a whole lot of people used to say it was Meg. It wasn't, it was Peg. For Peg has changed her working days from August till July. And they hid her in the cornfield and all. But she was stole, like. The Protestants stole her off the Roman Catholics.